Alright, ladies and tovarishes, Baron here. So we're going to be playing the KV-2 ZiS-6 with a 107mm main gun. So I have a question for you, right? And I'm going to preface it with this. Lately, Gaijin has made a number of controversial decisions and brought up a number of controversial topics. Now, I'd say for the most part, there's always been kind of some controversy related to, War Thunder, the game, the decision, where it's going, the decisions being made, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of it, I think, is cultural, them being a Russian company, and myself and the majority of this audience being, from the United States and from the United Kingdom. Now, there's a great many of you that are from other countries, other cultures, and all that stuff, right? But so I'm not really I don't really want to get into that, but what's interesting is lately it's come to a head to the point where Jingles, which is one of my inspirations for first seeing War Thunder and then choosing to play it because I thought it looked so good, stopping War Thunder content entirely. Now, the reason I've usually shied away from kind of more serious topics is I try to, the majority of my content, I want to be centered around fun, right? I like fun and I like informative. I enjoy playing War Thunder, so I do. I enjoy making YouTube content on War Thunder, so I do. That's not to say I am ignorant of what's going on. I've just never really gotten into it. I didn't know if it was necessarily my place to voice my personal opinions on this channel. I wanted to center it more around like fun and silly and information and historical nerding out and wondering about the potential and possibilities of things, right? So, but obviously there are some issues with the game. There are some issues with the direction, right? So my question is going to be of kind of not. I want to create this new question, and I want to know what's your overall opinion of patch 1.59. Do you think that with the addition of anti-tank guided missiles that it's a positive trend or it's a negative trend? Do you think that the game is going in a good direction? Recently, like outside of the units, outside of the actual game, just how the Gaijin was deciding on how they would treat kind of YouTubers, which is why some of the YouTubers have fled War Thunder in fear, honestly, for fear of their channel and fear of their livelihood. Because if you made one mistake under a almost policy, like Gaijin was going to flex their muscles, right? And it was kind of, that's scary. Like, when I read that, I figuratively shat my pants. I figuratively, not literally, thank God for me and my pants. But, like, that shit was scary. Truthfully scary. That could happen because strikes and stuff to channels, like that's scary shit, to be perfectly honest. And I didn't know if it was my place to voice my personal opinions on it, so I'd rather create a discussion with you guys and kind of move that as like it's a community directed topic, yourselves and myself together, as opposed to me just getting up here and spewing all of my personal opinions on things. I'm one of those people that at least does a decent effort at using two ears and one mouth, right? Which is funny because, you guys see, as a YouTuber, all you really hear is, for the most part, me talking, right? But most of the times it's just gameplay, what's going on, silliness that's happening in my life, or most recently, kind of more serious things. So I want to say that, personally, it does worry me. It did worry me. I'm glad it kind of resolved itself the way it did because it could have gotten worse. But the question here, as I kind of am going ADD side trails, is, ladies and gentlemen, do you think that right now, with patch 1.59, looking at patch 1.59 in isolation, do you think that it's trending upwards with the addition of anti-tank guided missiles, with the there's a lot of new vehicles, a lot of new planes, and a lot of new tanks. It's a pretty sizable patch especially when you consider that some of the new vehicles are implementing a completely new gameplay mechanic, that being anti-tank guided missiles. Personally, just a small bit of opinion, I still think that the addition of French and Italian, even partial tech trees, or even as sub-tech trees for other nations, French being under the United Kingdom, Italy being under Germany, would be a good idea. That was stuff that was talked about when I first entered War Thunder, and I think patch 1.23 or 1.25, way back in the day. Patch 1.27, as far as the economy and everything, is still my favorite. I was playing this game, I think, like 8 to 10 hours a day in arcade, the arcade noob days, man. But I still love arcade, and I think anyone who's like, only play RB and no arcade, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think every game mode should be appreciated in itself for its own merits. And I've even played Sim a few times, and I might get more into that. But I think that, you know, the French tree, both especially lower tier tanks and planes, and Italy as well, they wouldn't, you know, I don't think they could go all the way up to tier 5, or rather battle rating 9.0 in a lot of things. But now, actually now you can, because, you know, we do have these relatively modern vehicles now, and what many of us thought was a World War II game. So it's a constantly evolving game, and that's where this question stems from. Do you agree with the decisions being made? Do you agree with anti-tank guided missiles being added? They're fun. They're not overpowered. Those are my two takeaways from experimenting with them on the dev server. And I played the Sheridan earlier with anti-tank guided missiles and hit an Ostwind from the rear, and it did knock it out in one hit, right? And it was from relatively close, can't miss range. And it was just like the components within the vehicle, the engine still soak up a number of the explosive, you know, the number of the explosives, lit him on fire. He was still going strong, and had to put a second missile in him. But that's neither here nor there. Basically just saying that anti-tank guided missiles, I wouldn't say are overpowered at their current state, right? This patch was kind of put off for a week or two before when they originally intended. And I'm assuming you really had to get missiles right, because if you got them wrong, there'd be absolute outrage. But, so I think missiles, hey, they're not terrible, and they're kind of fun. And they're not premium, and that is always good, right? For something as important in drastically changing the game in its landscape like anti-tank guided missiles. So basically, what do you think of patch 159? Are you in favor of it? Are you happy with it? What's your favorite vehicle? Do you think it's a trend in the right direction or a trend in the wrong direction? Because, you know, that's generally what I would like to talk about, is kind of community-driven topics and community-driven discussion, as opposed to me just being up here and using this channel as like a soapbox and just spewing my personal opinions that like I've seen a number of YouTubers do that. They like, there's no facts, it's just all opinion, and it's sensationalized, and, you know, in some cases it's just like creating controversy for the sake of controversy. Because if you look at a lot of YouTube channels out there right now, like there's a lot of channels that are just like AIDS, man. They're AIDS, and they just create controversy for the sake of controversy, because the most people like that overly sensationalized, oh shit, the world is ending, and you know what, you gotta watch this shit because you don't want to miss it. And a lot of, like, that's happening at channels that are like million subs, and within the War Thunder community there are channels out there that feed off that feed off like just terrible thumbnails where it's like, hey, look at this thing that's not even in the game or gonna be added, but damn, that's a great thumbnail. And, you know, like overly sensationalized, controversial thumbnails and stuff like that, and titles. And they do that because they see these big, arguably reputable channels doing it, you know? And it's just like, come on. That kind of shit's going on, and it influences the younger audience. It influences people that like may not read up on everything. Like, they go to these YouTube channels, myself and mine included, for news and what's going on. And if someone says, this is fucked up, they're going to be like, hey, this is fucked up because this guy or this girl told me it is, right? So I want to shy away from that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that channel who's like, hey guys, this is fucked. You guys think it's fucked. That's how we're going from here. And let's create a big ass stir. Does that work, man? I don't know if it works necessarily. And then finally, when you get threatened so much, you just back down completely. You're like, all right, well now I'm just gonna shut up, right? That's what I've seen happen within our realm, you know, within our War Thunder community, and that's something that I want to avoid. I think that's bullshit. I don't agree with that approach. I've never agreed with overly negative or overly sensationalized drama for the sake of trying to get more views, more subs, just more notoriety, whatever it is, man. That's just like caustic. That's acidic. It's negative, right? It's negative for the sake of negativity, man. It's like there's no constructive criticism and stuff like that. And I've seen it a lot. And it is a shame because now that Jingles and Mags have left War Thunder, they were very reasonable voices. They were very reasonable people and very reasonable approaches to channels. Everyone's got their opinions. You, me, those channels. But since they're gone, like, I think there's less of those channels in the niche now, in the War Thunder niche, that are talking about, you know, the constructive criticism. I don't agree with this, and this would be a better approach. Instead of like, can you imagine this shit? This is enough, this is bad, right? And it's just like, everyone here is watching this because you like War Thunder. At one point, for whatever reason, you're like, this is my favorite game, or it's one of my favorite games. I enjoy playing it, so I'm going to continue playing it, right? And I still enjoy playing War Thunder, which is why I play it. I enjoy making YouTube content on War Thunder, so I do that. There's a number of other games that I'm really enjoying too, but there's just no other game like War Thunder. Do I agree with even the majority of the decisions that are made at the macro level, you know, at the business side? No, man. You know, vote BaronVonGamez, make War Thunder great again. You know, all those silly jokes, like there's some truth in every joke, right? But so that's what I want to this question is War Thunder getting great again? Is patch 1.59 a move in a positive direction or in a negative direction? That's the question. I'm having fun with it, but there's definitely precedent has been set for a while, and now it's like a full, it's going all in on moving towards more modern stuff. I think missiles were implemented well. They're not premium and they're not overpowered. It's a skilled based weapon. It takes skill to use it. You can't just go out there. It's not just point and click and boom, they're dead. You know what I mean? And I think that's good. It's not premium. If any of those things were true, I think this patch would have been a disaster, right? I've played 2 games in patch 1.59. Patch 1.59, right? So that's why I'm asking you guys, right? And this is something you may come back to in a few days and be like, okay, I finally have an answer. Or even after just a few battles, you know? Whatever it is, I want to know. Is War Thunder going in a good direction? Patch 1.59. Does that tell you in your gut, you know, and after playing the games and seeing the new vehicles and seeing video content on it, and avoiding the overly sensationalized, the over dramatic, the overly negative, or even the overly positive, right? Do you agree? Do you think it's a good patch? Do you agree with where it's going? There's still a lot of problems. There's still a lot of kinks. But I don't think you're going to get them fixed by, like, if you walk up to someone and be like, you suck, I hate your stuff. Do you think that person is going to want to listen to you or even want to talk to you? Or, hey man, let me lick your butthole. you know, let me kiss your feet, that stuff. Do you think that is going to get them to change? No, man. You got to be right in the middle. You got to be logical, smart, constructive criticism, right? We have a community where I think, like, if we do kind of discuss these things, like, maybe we can get change, right? Maybe we can get things done. Maybe we can push the direction, or not push. We can't push. But maybe we can help guide the direction of where things go, because then it's like, this would be incredibly well received, and we're not like spewing all this like stuff where most people will shut down, right? And man, this conversation's gone on a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's something that I've been putting a lot of thought into, and I feel like it's time to let you all know where I stand and what I think would be a good approach. Obviously, I might be wrong, and you guys can let me know. Be like, you know what, I think this would be a good approach. That's fine. We have all got our thoughts and opinions, and that is what I'm asking you right now. Where do you stand? Where does patch 1.59 stand? Ladies and gentlemen, I enjoy playing War Thunder. I enjoy making YouTube content on it. I'm going to keep doing it until this is no longer fun. Once it's no longer fun and I don't enjoy it, I will stop. That's a promise. And right now, I'm having fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, there will be more War Thunder content to come, but I really, really want your feedback on those topics that we discussed in this video. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the community. Thanks for being awesome. Unless you suck. And then I would encourage you, hey, let's change it. Let's be awesome, right? And I really want to see, I think it's a critical point in War Thunder. You know, things need to have an upward trend, right? And I think, like, if you look, let's see. Right now there's 40,000 people on at the middle of the day on a Thursday. It's pretty good. I think at peak the player base is around 60,000. I personally would love to see, if the game is fun, continues to be fun, and it's going in the right direction, I'd love to see 200,000. 100,000, 200,000 plus, right? That's what I would love to see. And that could happen. What if we could impact that, right? What if we could impact changes to the game by approaching it the right way to where that happens? And we got more people to shoot down in planes, and more people to shoot at in tanks. More people to help repair us. You know, more people to squad up with, right? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of this. There's so many more vehicles in this patch I need to play. That's just something that I was thinking about a lot, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this video. And you know what? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this great adventure that is our YouTube community. And you know what? We're going to get back on this horse here and play some vehicles. So what's your favorite vehicle of patch 1.59? Or what do you want to see more on? Maybe what's your least favorite, huh? Interesting stuff. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. You guys are great.